So I'm finally back with the next part of the Super Ghouls and Ghosts tutorial with a worse microphone to boot. And here we'll cover what happens when you beat loop 1 and the stages 1 through 6 in loop 2. So when you complete loop 1, the difficulty will increase by 1 step. So we were playing loop 1 on normal, so that means that loop 2 will be played on expert mode. And what changes in expert? There's a lot of subtle changes all over the place. Mostly things will happen faster, like projectiles aren't faster, but enemies will fire faster and that sort of stuff. Bosses have a tiny amount more HP, doesn't make a difference for us, possibly in stage 3. But the most noticeable thing is there will be a lot more random spawns, which is of course problematic. But that's it, pretty much. So if you wanna practice loop 2, for example, you can use the practice ROM. I can link a patch below. So you could set the difficulty to expert mode, change the stage you want to practice, and use the practice mode additions to get yourself gold armor and dagger, and it'll be just like loop 2. So that's good for some practice there. And most what we have learned from loop 1 is applicable to loop 2. But there's some different set plays I have for loop 2. So we can just take a look at here. Already in stage 1 in loop 2 here. You just play this at full speed first. What I usually do. So it should be noted that these coffins are of course random, so this might not happen, but what I do is we don't need this first chest here, of course. Well, if you lose armor, you can of course reveal it, but in the case that you keep armor, we'll just walk to the edge and make a medium length double jump, we can call it. Not a super long double jump, because this coffin is random, of course, and it might appear here, and if it does and we make a really long jump, we might just crash into the coffin, so if it appears, we can just jump over it. And I will say that I've never personally seen this coffin fly. I keep jumping over it every time it appears, but you know, this is Super Ghouls, so it might fly, who knows. But so far I haven't had any problems with jumping over it. And another big change for stage 1 is the skull towers will release skulls a lot faster, which is something you have to be ready for. Sometimes you're lucky, you can just walk past as per usual, but sometimes it will release skulls really fast, so be ready for that. Then we have here's another set play we have for stage 2. So we'll do the beginning just as usual. And we'll align our left side with the rope here. This is all covered in the loop 1 video already. Let's jump up. And here's another change for loop 2. So these guillotines some of them are faster. And this is the only one that matters to us. By the time we get up here, it will be swinging towards us, so we can just jump over it, jump again, and then roughly align our right side with the edge of this yellow thing here, roughly, and jump like that, and you'll get pushed up on the raft. But that's the only difference, set play we have for stage 2. And it doesn't really, nothing else is really different here, so and this doesn't really change, but it's something I'd like to point out, I suppose, here. So I said in my stage 3 video that if the Grillion fires this direction here, we can, from a crouching position, jump over this. And it's, of course, it's convenient since we're crouching already from holding down from the ladder. But we can still do this in loop 2. Let's see if we can get a good screenshot here. There, yeah. So this is one of the other subtle changes. the Grillian flames will reach ever so slightly farther. So this jump is really dangerous. So what you can do, I'm pretty sure, is if you reach the bottom here and you'll see his flames here, you can just take a small step forward and it would make the jump a lot easier, but you can just jump over it, but it's a bit dangerous so then don't get hit by that guy, because that kind of sucks. And here's here's a really problematic part of Loop 2. So there's fast response, and these goblin towers is gonna be a real pain now, because they already were in Loop 1. So in Loop 1, what I did here was a long double jump, a single jump, and a quick double jump to sort of match the goblin spawn timing and kill them as they appear. But in Loop 2 they appear faster, so we're gonna do our long double jump and fire. And if that guy had appeared on me, he would be killed by the daggers. But instead of doing a single jump here, we'll do just chain 2 long double jumps. We'll kill the guy if he appears above us. This set play isn't really perfect because you can see I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Now, this situation is actually pretty fine. It's not really that dangerous because they're falling pretty slowly. But yeah, you can see what can happen here with a lot more spawns. Just walk over the chest. And I mean, there's no real set play for this spiral tower here. It's super dangerous, just like in Loop 1, except even more dangerous. So what we do is we'll take our free jump and our second free jump and start firing some daggers, and usually we'll kill a guy. And we kill a goblin, so we'll take our free jump. And I'm just gonna YOLO here, we can just watch this. And yeah, I mean this tower is just really dangerous to get through fast, and even it's just dangerous to get through slowly even. But it takes some practice and you can get through that. And so I said that the bosses have a tiny bit more HP and it doesn't really make a difference. I can't really tell, but it feels like the timing for the quick kill, like releasing the dragon on stage 3 boss, is ever so slightly tighter, but I'm not sure about that. And then we have like a final video we can pause here first. So for stage 4 is actually, it's pretty easy in Loop 1, but it's kind of problematic in Loop 2 actually, because there will be a lot more genie spawns. I mean, they behave the same as in Loop 1, but they will get in your way. So you'll have to, you can watch the stage 4 tutorial to see what they can do, but there will be a lot more of them. And then for this raft section, we can do the same set play basically as in Loop 1, but I can show some bonus footage here of what I call the Mode 7 skip. So we'll just do as we usually do. The geysers here are active longer, but with our Loop 1 set play, we'll get through just fine. So here's one difference. So in Loop 1, you want to stand centered over this part roughly to spawn the next geyser in like a advantageous position, I suppose, or cycle. For the Mode 7 skip, you can stand a bit more farther ahead. So we have to do this climb really fast to make the Mode 7 skip happen. So we have to stand like on the edge of this, wait for this thing to get fully grown, because otherwise it'll get a ton of iframes. Kill it. And roughly when our head touches the first blueberry here, we'll start jumping here. And if you do it fast enough, the stage will stop shaking. But I mean, I don't think this really does anything for the speedrun. It's just sort of a confirmation that you did it fast enough, but it's actually a bit dangerous because you have, well, first off you have to stand like on this edge here, and you might jump into the imp or miss him with the daggers. Leaving imps are never good, so... But the loop 1 video, as I said, is pretty much applicable to loop 2. Just remember that the geysers are active for longer here. And here's something actually you can do, a difference. Just move forward a bit here. You can also do this in loop 1. I wasn't doing it back then, so I didn't show it at that time, but from here you can just do a left jump up to this last raft. And what this will do is will activate this geyser really early, which makes the next part a lot easier. Since these are active for longer now, you can just, you won't get like pushed back as long. And then, as per usual, just wait until our crouching foot is over this hole here, and jump over. And that's it for the set play differences. We'll just get a screenshot some here going. Then for stage 5 there's really nothing specific here. It's pretty much the same. The flowers might shoot faster, like the projectile isn't faster, but they might fire faster, a higher fire rate, which would make the bad luck flower more dangerous. I can't confirm that though. I think the icicles grow out faster, but it's pretty much the same, stage 5. And for stage 6, it's actually identical. There's no changes regarding the speedrun through stage 6. So that's really it for the 6 first stages for loop 2. So in the next video we'll be tackling dealing with Astaroth and Nebaroth with the bracelet, which should be interesting. And until that time, we'll see you guys later.